The Second Mrs. Burton, the story of a modern marriage.
Hiya. Here's your La France and Satina.
Folks, that's Dickie the grocery boy. When you hear him reminding you of those two wash day friends, you know it's time to listen to The Second Mrs. Burton, which is brought to you by...
New improved La France.
For easier, whiter, brighter washes and...
Satina.
For easier, quicker, better-looking starch ironing. La France? Satina. It makes starch ironing 3 times easier because it never lets your iron stick or pull. It leaves a slick, smooth, satiny sheen on everything from shirts to pillow slips and frilly curtains. It gives starch things a clean, fresh fragrance that's plenty nose appealing. It even helps clothes stay clean longer. What is it? Satina, the starch ironing sensation. All you do is add Satina to your starch and you're on your way to happier, easier ironing days. So, lady, grab a few pennies, that's all it costs, and ask your grocer for a package of Satina today. And listen at the end of our program today for our household hint department. And now, The Second Mrs. Burton. It's evening, and the Burton living room is softly lit by a fire in the fireplace. The first one this fall in the cottage on Maple Street. The couch has been swung around in front of it, and Stan and Terry Burton are sitting with the flickering amber light playing freely across their faces, their hands comfortably touching. It's warm here and quiet, and most of all, very, very comfortable.
We ought to pop some corn in the fireplace. We haven't had any popcorn for a long time.
Why don't we? There's some in the pantry.
Too lazy, I guess. Your hair looks kind of red in this light, Terry. You would make a bad-looking redhead, honey.
Want me to change?
Well, I've always had a certain special fondness for redheads.
Oh?
Irish setters, particularly. Hey, maybe Brad ought to have a dog.
You mean maybe Stan ought to have one. I think Brad would be happier with a bicycle.
Yeah, he should have had a bicycle a long time ago. But I just can't afford one now. Just seems there's less money coming in all the time.
But, Stan, you told me the store was doing very well.
Then I guess I didn't know what I was talking about. Oh, August was all right. Better than I expected. But September was... ouch.
Oh, I'm sorry, darling. I thought we were getting along fine. I'll start watching the bills a little more carefully.
I suppose the old Burton store did a flourishing business last month.
Why do you say that?
Because I feel pretty sure it did. I think it got its usual business, and mine, too.
Why would it, darling?
Oh, several reasons. Prices are too high. I don't know if people can afford good stuff these days. Bill Sullivan's smarter than I am, honey. Let's face it.
Oh, now, Stan.
Oh, yes, he is. Business-wise. He's more in tune with the times than I am. I'm trying to run my store the way my father taught me a store should be run. The way he ran the old Burton store, on quality. But these aren't quality times, Terry. I should have taken the hint from Bill Sullivan. Oh, well, forget it. It'll work out all right. Did I hear somebody say something about popcorn?
Darling, you are worried, aren't you?
No, I'm just lazy. I wonder what makes feeling lazy so good tonight. You feel lazy?
It's the fire. That's what it always does to me. But I love it.
That's good to hear, because I've noticed that I sometimes have the same effect on you.
Oh, you don't either.
Oh, don't deny it. I know. I've caught you more than once, swallowing a yawn in my face. Gee, you smell good. Like apple blossoms.
You feel good. Like foam rubber. No sag. Guaranteed to last a lifetime.
I beg your pardon?
Your shoulder. That's a compliment.
Oh.
You should just try finding another man with a shoulder like yours.
Yes, I'll be apt to. Shall I start my search now?
No, don't move.
Not even for popcorn?
Not for anything. Let's stay just like this all the rest of our lives. We wouldn't need money. We wouldn't need...
Don't listen now, but there's a phone ringing somewhere in this house.
I can't hear a sound. As I was saying, let's stay just like this all the rest of our lives.
And now we turn back to a few minutes ago. While Terry and Stan Burton were sitting peacefully in front of their living room fire, the atmosphere in the Sullivan living room on the other side of town was anything but peaceful. And yet, it looked peaceful enough, with Marion serving herself coffee at the coffee table, while Bill, leaning against the large modern cabinet of a radio phonograph, appears to be giving his full attention to the sounds coming out of its speaker. But things are very seldom what they seem. And it's a poor observer who fails to notice the care with which Marion and Bill avoid each other's eyes.
Pretty, wasn't it?
Quite.
That was, Claire de Lune.
I know, Bill. I bought it.
Well, we're going to have something a little lower browed this time, something more up my alley. I mustn't get too cultured all at once, must I?
Well, I don't think you need to worry.
Want to dance?
With your bad heart, don't be silly.
What are you trying to do? Make me think you care if I fold up? Come on, relax, Marion. That's it. A little late to put on an act for me, you know. I'm already thoroughly acquainted with your other one.
What do you mean?
How many times have you tried to start a fight with me in the last couple of weeks and then lost your nerve?
Lost my nerve?
Yeah.
Is that what you call my consideration for you?
Now, you've gone stiff again. Relax. You used to be easy to lead. You're like a telephone pole tonight. What's the matter?
Please, Bill, let's stop this. I can't enjoy dancing with you when I know you shouldn't be dancing. Please let me go.
Okay. Never let it be said I forced a woman to dance with me.
You put all those records away, won't you, before you go to bed? I think I'll go up to my room now.
Wait a minute, Marion. It's a little matter I'd like to settle with you tonight, if you don't mind. I've got an appointment in the morning with Judge Adams, and before I go there, I'd like to be sure of what I'm going to say to him.
About what, Bill?
About whether or not I can count on you to get a divorce while I'm taking my trip around the world.
Well, does it make much difference since we're going to be separated anyway? I'm in no particular hurry for a divorce.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, it makes a big difference.
Why?
I'm going to ask him to draw up a new will for me tomorrow. I know the way I want it to read. I wrote it all down this afternoon. Here. Take a look at it if you want to.
Well, thank you, Bill, for wanting me to have the books and records and the furniture in my own room. Your mother will have quite an estate on her hands if anything should happen to you, won't she? This house, store. It was thoughtful of you to relieve her of the responsibility of the books and the records. I'm sure she'll appreciate it.
What do you intend to ask for when you get your divorce, Marion?
After looking at this, I'm not going to get a divorce, Bill. I think I'd rather be your widow than your ex-wife.
That's exactly what I thought you had in mind. You're just hanging around waiting for me to die, aren't you? Well, I've got an answer for that, Marion. I won't even mention the will to Judge Adams in the morning. I won't need to. Because before I leave this country, I'll put everything I own in Mother's name. Even my checking account. When I leave here, I won't have a penny. And there won't be a blessed thing you can do about it. I get it all taken care of first thing in the morning. And then you can pack and get out. Get out of this house. I don't like vultures hanging around waiting for my body.
Bill.
Get out. Get out tonight. I want you to right now. I'll even help you.
Bill, don't pick up those heavy... Please.
There. There are your records right by the door so you can't miss them. Now, go on, go on. What are you waiting for? The rest of them? Okay.
Bill, please, don't be a fool. Leave those records.
Who's being a fool? This is the most sensible thing I've done in months. If I had any sense, I'd have kicked you. I'd have kicked you out.
Bill, I told you you shouldn't have.
Get away. Get away. Leave me alone. Call the doc. Quick. It's worse. Worse than last time.
Bill. Oh. Wasn't my fault. I didn't do it. He did it himself. I didn't do it. I didn't do it. Did I? No. No, I didn't do it.
Say, Mr. James, you know Jimmy the soda jerk over at the drugstore.
Sure, Dickie. What about him?
Well, do you know that he used to be the head waiter at the hotel?
Oh, go on.
Well, it's true. Jimmy used to be the head waiter at the swankiest hotel in town. Every night he wore a black suit and a black tie and had to be very dignified. And then one night, he fell in love.
Ah.
He married a nice little lady who turned out to be a very smart housewife.
You mean she blued her clothes with La France?
What else? Every smart housewife knows how much easier La France makes a wash. It saves a rinse. You wash and blue together.
And La France gets white things white like new with never a streak or spot. That's because La France alone contains that super blend of blues called Luminette.
Sure. Well, one day, Mr. James, Jimmy the head waiter saw his white shirts waving crisp and snowy on the line. And he was so doggone proud of those La France blued shirts that he just couldn't hide them behind his black serge suit anymore.
So he took off his jacket and became a soda jerk so all the world could admire his wife's bluing job. Dickie.
Oh, now, Mr. James, don't waste time doubting my story. Tell him.
Ladies, for clothes you'll be extra proud to wear, always blue with La France. The second Mrs. Burton is brought to you Monday through Friday by La France and Satina.
And there are a lot of housewives waiting for their orders of La France and Satina right now, Mr. James, so I better get going.
Right, Dickie. And do you have a household hint for today?
Oh, I sure have, Mr. James. A little something about pressing the button part of clothes. Now, you press around buttons and never over them.
Oh?
And you can also press them from the back after you lay the button part face down on a folded Turkish towel.
Mm-hmm.
The buttons sink into the towel, and you can get the fabric around them nice and smooth.
Well, that's very fine advice, Dickie.
Thank you, Mr. James, and I'll see you Monday.
Right, Dickie, and folks, until we meet again Monday for another exciting chapter of the second Mrs. Burton, remember, La France means easier, whiter, brighter washes. Satina means easier, better-looking starch darning.
Hey, where do you live now, ma'am?
I live in Alabama.
And what do you eat now, ma'am?
Eat? I eat Jell-O.
Jell-O and those 6 delicious flavors, strawberry, raspberry, cherry, orange, lemon, and lime. All locked in, rich and good. Flavors so luscious, they make you think of the real ripe fruit. And friends, Jell-O is back. Yes, more and more Jell-O on your grocer's shelves, till soon there's all you want again. That's
Jell-O, 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 Jell-O. Jell-O.
Be sure to be with us Monday, friends, for the second Mrs. Burton to hear the outcome of today's dramatic events in the life of a modern woman, the second Mrs. Burton, written by Martha Alexander, with Patsy Campbell as Terry and Dwight Waste as Stan. This is CBS, the Columbia Broadcasting System.